fired because we both agreed that he should have got fired. I mean,
I'm talking about the Kevin Love. Should he still be there?
I mean,
why should Black have gotten fired?
Because
he got blew out.
Because
by Golden State.
And when you say he got blew out by Golden State in the finals last year, or
they got blew out by 32-98.
Right. So that game should determine him being fired.
No, let me give you the question. The answer to the question.
Okay.
He should have got fired because the moment LeBron decided to come back, the whole direction of their franchise changed.
Okay.
When he initially got hired, they were in a rebuilding. We built around Kyrie. We got these 2 high draft picks. We're going to build around that. We just got Wiggins. We had who the guy that turned to
Bennett.
Yeah, you had Bennett. So you got all this young talent. You're going to bring this coach in from Europe. He's going to revolutionize the game of basketball with some new stuff from European. So I got this young talent. When LeBron decides I'm coming home,
Bennett has to go.
Bennett. Now he told you. LeBron told you what the roster was going to be in the letter.
But when did the players start picking the rosters?
When one player makes the value of your franchise go up over $200 or $300 million.
Now think about it. When LeBron was there, when he first got there, Cleveland was on TV every other night, right? When he went to Miami, did you ever see Cleveland on TV again? When he came back, you see Cleveland on TV every night, right? So that means LeBron is this team. So anything that happens, we got to go through LeBron. The reason he left because they didn't get him what he asked for. So now we're gonna do everything in our power to give you what you asked for.
I don't think he left because they didn't give him everything he asked for.
Say the boy walked off the court. His last game, he took off the jersey before he got the locker room.
But we know. But all of the players that were his teammates were the guys that he hand selected: Mo Williams and Anderson Barrejo, and all of the guys that he had on the team before were all of his hand selected guys.
He didn't give him no superstar.
But LeBron, those were the guys that LeBron wanted. He struggles playing with other superstars.
I agree.
And so that now, obviously LeBron's been to 4 finals.
6
finals, but lost 4.
Right.
He's been to 6, lost 4. Now, with this last, like you guys call it, the fiasco, this is going to affect his image and his legacy in the NBA.
If he goes this year and lays another egg.
Well, who do you think that they're going to win it?
No.
Before the season started, I said I thought I was still. I'm still all right with a healthy Cleveland.
Well, that goes back to the reason why I said David Black deserved to get fired, because he, as a coach, cannot compete with a Popovich or a Steve Kerr that is Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich mixed in one. You feel what I'm saying? He does not know the NBA game. European basketball, now if y'all been overseas, you know it's a different game than the NBA game. The strategy, how they coach. So it wasn't that he's not a good. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. Just he's not the right coach for this situation. They winning now. They don't have time for him to learn the NBA game and the bumps and the bruises in the road when it's championship. But we got 3 years with LeBron.
Right. But my thing would be, okay, so is Tyronn Lue better coach than David Black? Because
I say yes, and the reason why I say yes is going back to what Charles was saying. The NBA and overseas is 2 different games. It's 2 different mindsets. So Tyronn Lue had played 11 years in the league. Then he went up to Boston. He was assistant coach with Doc Rivers. Then he went to LA with Doc Rivers as well, and then he's been on this staff here for the last 2 years.
So he has no head coaching experience.
Exactly. But I'm saying that's for every head coach right now. When they started out, they had no head coaching experience. Popovich never had it. You can see. Let's go all the way back to the early '80s when we had Pat Riley take over the Lakers halfway through the season.
No, he took over. He took over after they won the championship the next year. Then he was going. But the guy, I can understand what you're saying. The guys have to start.
So I'm not saying that Tyronn Lue is a bad coach or anything like that. Personally, I feel like Mark Jackson should have been. But at the end of the day, it goes back to what y'all saying. Right now, it's not like when we were coming up where the coach had total control.
Right.
The players now have more control. Right? You know, like no guys want to go to LA. Why? Because Kobe had all the control. when up in Cleveland, you can tell, like, with LeBron, for me personally, I just think he's a baby anyway. You know what I'm saying? They brought him all the way through as a baby, so now he's a superstar. It's like, now I'm back in Cleveland. It's either give me what I want, I'm going to leave again. And they know that if he leave again, what's going to happen to the economy?
I can't blame it on him.
No, I'm not blaming him.
I look at him as the first athlete to fully realize his leverage and use it to the fullest extent.
Yes, as a player, probably so.
And a businessman.
Right.
And to me, he has changed and revolutionized the game in that way, not even on the court, as a businessman.
Okay. That in a assimilation or a cross reference would be a lot of the rappers these days that have expanded their enterprises, a Puff Daddy, some of the guys that are much more, they're a branded image more than just a personality or an individual with whatever they do.
Right.
So they've expanded it into much more of a business realm. And I totally agree with you with that regard of it. But with that element, you lose a lot of the natural essence of the game.
Oh, yeah.
So there's still a part of the game where I'm the player, I show up and play, the coach is the coach, and he coaches. What's happened now with some of the things that you've expressed through the businesses and everything like that, a lot of the players want to play the game and they want to coach the game at the same time, which is really tough because all of us in here have played before. How can you play defense if you trying to tell the players behind you what we're going to do on offense? We can't play offense until we have the ball. So what has happened is, in a simple context, he's worried about too much.
Exactly.
He has too many things going on other than the championship. And so now he's looking at a legacy of a person who's going to be branded, and he's got the LBJ, and he's got all of the things that go with the business honors and the business and his legacy set for life. But as far as true basketball purists, he's losing a lot of his credibility with these moves that he's pulling with changing of rosters and going back and forth from Miami. My question to us in here, why isn't he still in Miami?
Oh man, he wanted to go home. He that's his legacy. He wants to bring a ring home to Cleveland.
First of all, go ahead.
Okay, well, just one thing when you go to that. But do you think if they would have beaten the Spurs that he would have went back to Cleveland? If Miami would have won that championship when they got ran out of the gym and he was totally embarrassed, do you think that he would have went back to Cleveland as a champion with Miami?
I still think he would have left. Now would he have left that year? I don't know. But when he went home, yes.
Okay.
I just feel that like Watcher said, he's a baby. He want to go. He didn't want to leave home to begin with.
Hey, to me, that's what I was going to touch on.
And he left to learn how to win.
Right.
And D-Wade showed him how to win.
So you learn how to win, and then you
go back home and try to bring that to Cleveland.
Okay.
And that's not basketball.
Hey, it's not basketball, but at the same time, you got to think about it this way. When people that came out of high school, or people, let's say, the greatest player of this era, Michael Jordan, right?
Yes, sir.
Michael Jordan had the luxury of a Dean Smith.
Correct.
Who LeBron had?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? He was brought into a morbid franchise,
right,
and handed the keys. And at 18 years old,
right.
Here you go. What the hell? What was he supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So if I give you a Ferrari, you ain't never drove before in your life, and I'm just handing you the keys to it. Here you go.
He spent 8 years in Cleveland before.
You know what I'm saying? But then again, you never gave him a coach that he could respect.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Right. So you never gave him
a winning coach.
A winning coach.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Not to cut you off, but I mean, we have these conversations. I always go back to Olajuwon. And the reason why I go back to Olajuwon is he had a couple coaches here.
Yeah.
He had a couple players and a couple teams where we didn't really have no guys like that. And then he had some teams where we did have some guys I felt like were like that. We lost or whatever, but he stuck it out. He stuck it out and he found his inner peace. And once he found his inner peace, he took those guys around him to a whole nother level.
That's something after playing with Moses took him to the
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying when you look at guys now, you know what I'm saying?
They're not trying to step it out.
They're trying to chase that money, man. It's like Pete's saying, it's a business now. The game, it's not the game anymore. It's the business side of it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying, but it's a lot. Elijah had them years at U of H.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But that's what we missing here. You know what I'm saying? This guy, just look at them 4 years at going to Miami.
That was his 4 years of college.
That was his college.
Well, so he came into the league and the time in Cleveland through the experiences and the championship run where he went to the finals against the Spurs and all of that growing up that he did in Cleveland, he had to go to Miami.
Okay, again.
For his indoctrination.
Okay, check this out.
What was the thing, the announcement he had or whatever?
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like him. I don't like how he did that. But again, people forget he gave that money to charity.
Right.
So,
but it was his thing where he was making himself the center of attention.
I don't think it was him.
That was the recruitment period.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I don't agree with it, but I had to rationalize because I'm a fair person. Okay. If somebody tell you, I'm gonna pay you $5 million just for you to sit in that chair and tell me where you're gonna play basketball next year, you gonna say no?
I'm gonna say yes. Okay, I'm gonna say yes. But if I'm LeBron James, I'm gonna highly consider everything I say yes and no to, because with a sign of a pen, he's worth $5 million. So the money with the average everyday human being, no brainer. I'm sitting in a chair. I'll do cartwheels for $500,000. Okay. But when you're LeBron and you're basing your legacy and you're going to have to deal with these type of things continuously, and this goes back again to what you were talking about. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Because somewhere in his camp, and I talk to Kabasi about this all the time, whenever you surround yourself with people, you can't be surrounded by yes men. You can't be surrounded by guys that agree with everything that you say just in order to keep the peace and to keep them around and to make you happy and to support whatever feeling that you may have.
People he grew up with.
Right.
His best friend is his agent.
But at the same time, he empowered those people. Them guys ain't just yes men, they're his friends.
Right. What I'm saying is, if he, at a certain point along the line, they all agree with what he's saying.
That's cool.
What you were saying.
That's cool.
What you were saying about Dean Smith. There were some times when Michael Jordan did things that Dean Smith said, "No, Mike, you can't do that."
Right.
Everybody over at the dorm, James Worthy, Sam Perkins, Kenny Smith, all the guys over there doing it. Mike, you can't do that. If they offer James this or Sam, they may be able to. That goes back to some of the mentoring that you were talking about that has been absent in his particular situation.
And that's the point I'm trying to make is.
So let me ask you this. So because Kobe came out of high school,
but again,
he said how Eddie Jones is
again.
Thinking about that too.
That's true. I get what you're saying. Like you said, they gave him the keys.
I analyzed this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I got you. I understand what you're saying now.
Again, them 8 years in Cleveland, that's just like we spent 8 years doing nothing. Yeah, I'm in the league, but I'm not learning who I'm learning of. You know what I'm saying? If I'm learning from a bum coach, or I got this culture that is in this franchise
on the team, who's gonna tell me something?
Who's gonna tell me something? So again, you're not getting. Yeah, you're in the league, but you're not getting coached. You're not getting. You don't have nobody taking you under wing. So guess what? The Olympics come around. I've been cool with this guy. I look up to this guy. He's a champion. And guess what, man? Come play with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you the ropes. To a winning organization, or a Pat Riley ran organization, like you're not gonna do what you want to do. So what he did, he went to 4 years. That was his journeyman school. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna pick up and learn what a championship organization is.
Now I agree with everything that you just said, right up until that point of when he said he's gonna stay in or not. So I agree with all of that. Like you said, that was his apprenticeship. Now, let's go. What led to him making a decision? Now, you win you win 2 championships in Miami, you lose 1. Obviously, that three-peat affected him some kind of way. Okay. Now, do you tough it out in Miami? That goes back to the Olajuwon thing. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I've seen Isaiah go through the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows and build and build and build, which is what he was doing when he was in Miami. They had to do it because before he got there, Miami had went through a time when they weren't winning anything.
They won that thing with Shaq.
They won that thing with Shaq.
But see, that's the thing. If like I said, D Wade even said he knew he wasn't gonna stay there forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's already, look, we just come here, do what we gonna do, because if he seen that, you said that 3P done something to him,
right?
He was like, okay, I see this team falling apart. Like I said, they had internal struggle. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just the stuff that, like I say, him and Mario getting into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, y'all gotta understand. They would have had to pay all 3 of them the max.
Exactly.
And how they bench would have looked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then they went back to square one.
I agree with both on that. He had got whooped and he was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. And then too, he wasn't even getting the max. He wasn't even getting the max. He has never been the max getting the most on the team that he's been on. This is the first year he's like,
he's gonna get it after this.
After this. You know what I'm saying? He has been taking, so it's like, okay, we losing, you know what I'm saying? We having all this going on. My idea was to come down here and get what I was gonna get. I was gonna go home anyway. So I told my boy, hey, look, I'm going.
Yeah, I read an article. His son was the key factor why he wanted to go.
Wife wanted to go home. Mama wanted to go home.
Right.
I was gonna go home anyway. Right. Guess what?
We going home.
It's time to go home.
So now we at home. Now we at what we talking about, the fiasco, the blow up. You getting coaches fired now.
Black.
David Black.
To answer your question. Stat line for that game, Bron dropped 16, 5, and 4. J.R. Smith scored 14. That's it. Where's Kyrie at? He only scored 8. Kevin Love, 3.
3 points.
Like, these are your other 2 superstars in a big game at home, and they don't show up.
Everybody building this up.
Well, so is that the player or the coach?
That goes to the coaching, because as a coach, you're supposed to lead your team into battle,
right,
and prepare them to go to battle.
So Kyrie and Kevin Love weren't prepared.
The stats show they wasn't.
Wait, hold. Now I'm a former player. Now we got, say for instance, you overseas, right? Okay, so we play every Saturday. So we got the game plan the whole week, right? So that's all we've been doing all week long. Game plan for whomever, you know what I'm saying? So when we get to that game and that ball is in the air, it ain't on the coach. It's on the 5 guys out there on the court, and then the guys get prepared themselves, watching the game, getting ready to come into the game. So we can't put the blame on the coach, because what I'm saying is this. You have to have an extension of the coach on the floor. Okay, so if I'm the leader, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I've always been the leader, so I'm both competing on me. Yeah. If I see it's like, hey man, I got to get on you because I have to be an extension. So I can't just sit over there and say, hey, man, it's the coach's fault. You have to look at yourself, because when we leave the court and go home and look in that mirror, the coach not standing there with you, it's you. So you have to. So when they went out there and played Golden State, Black wasn't out there playing. He didn't gave you the game plan already. All the coaching staff that gave the game plan. We have it. So you have to go out there and you have to execute it.
But at the same time, it comes to the close when it looks like your players don't believe your game plan. They don't believe in you. You feel what I'm saying?
That's a whole different aspect.
And that's
a whole different part of the game. But you should never, as a player, you should never let that affect your effort.
You know what I'm saying? We understand that we on a politically correct.
But a lot of people don't, though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they call that the coach no longer has the players' ear.
Exactly.
He's no longer moving at the same.
That's what the GM supposedly said at the press conference.
So this is my
thing. I understand that. I agree with you on that. I'm just saying the players have to be held accountable as well.
Right. So why now, if David Black didn't have those guys ready, why are all of those guys being mentioned as being expendable? All of those guys are now all of a sudden expendable with LeBron, and these are the guys again that he handpicked. Now all of them aren't good enough either. The coach wasn't good enough. The hand-picked players aren't good enough. And I know this, and he knows it too. First of all, I'm a LeBron James fan.
Me too.
I'm a big-time LeBron James guy. But I'm starting to lose a little respect for LeBron because of some of these different things. And this is, I don't have a problem with saying this. One of the guys who probably listen, he's going to be happy. LeBron's not the top player in the NBA anymore.
No, I said that. That's Steph Curry.
Okay. Right. So
let's be honest about that.
So when that goes back to what you were saying, we've all had the kid that now you aren't what we thought you were. Now you point the fingers at other people. And I don't ever remember Larry Bird or Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan getting the coach and the whole team fired.
Oh, Michael did get Phil Collins.
Right, but they didn't get rid of the whole team because, and just like you said, Magic got Paul Westhead gone after they won it, but Jabbar didn't go nowhere. Worthy didn't go nowhere. Cooper didn't go anywhere. See, that's what happened after this debacle that you just said after the garbage game. And I look up and then they're talking about finding a coach. Not everybody's expendable.
Yeah, Kevin Love.
3 years ago, Kevin Love was supposed to be a top 5. Kyrie and Kevin Love were first team All NBA guys.
#1 players on their team.
So you can afford to trade.
I think that's more media.
Yeah, I seen some BS that should. It was.
It's always gonna be every year.
Should you know what I mean? Should Cleveland trade Kyrie for Chris Paul?
So anyway,
you trading a 20-something-year-old for a 30-something-year-old? Like, come on, man. Like, who does that?
You really haven't. For Kyrie, we haven't even seen the best out of him. Yeah, because he stayed hurt so much. So you
and I feel 100% Kyrie. And it's just me talking. If not, but he's 1B at point guard in the league. I put Steph in the top. Kyrie
because he already got the big mega deal already.
Yeah. So behind Steph, 100% Kyrie. Steph is the second. Kyrie's the second best point guard in the league to me.
Well, what I was gonna say is, and this is just as a coach's perspective, watching the dynamics of the game. LeBron struggles playing with Kyrie, and he also struggles playing with Kevin Love because they don't play no defense. And that's why Kyrie is not quite 1B right now, just because he got the whole package like Steph does offensively.
Yeah, but Steph don't play no defense.
He don't play no defense.
He tried, but he gives an effort.
Right, but his teammates think he is. LeBron and everybody on Cleveland knows Kyrie is not playing no defense.
Yeah,
they know he's not even trying. He's simulating and all of that. And the guy on the other side of him is giving him 30, 35, 40, 45.
Easily.
Whatever I got to give you. Because we're talking about them games like the Golden State game, the games that really, really matter, that get people fired and get stuff blowed up and all that. In those games, they ain't guarding nobody. They're not rotating. And so LeBron got Tristan Thompson, $75 million.
For 4 years.
Who is that guy?
Yeah. Ain't nobody clean the glass that good.
Who is the guy?
Windex. You not to come off the bench.
85 can't fall.
To come off the bench.
Okay, fellas. We got other topics.
Okay.